We need a president who's going to restore world peace as opposed to this outbreak of warfare under Joe Biden. I'm here today to officially proclaim my endorsement for Donald J. Trump to be president of the United States of America again.
And I'm just telling you, Mr. Governor, I am going to make your job much easier. You'll be able to focus on other things in Texas.
There was Texas Governor Greg Abbott endorsing President Trump for the 2024 election yesterday in Texas. Trump and Abbott serving Thanksgiving meals to border agents near McAllen, Texas, thanking them for their service. Border agents have been certainly busy recently. The Tucson border encountering more than 14,000 illegal migrants in a single week. Unbelievable numbers here. Seizing 300 pounds of fentanyl. We're talking about 1 week. Last month, Border Patrol arrested more than 1,500 illegal migrants with known criminal histories. Just in the month, that's more than 90 of them with outstanding warrants and 50 gang members. Yes, that is who is coming into the border. Joining me right now is Missouri Congressman Mark Alford, a member of the House Armed Services and Small Business Committees. Congressman, these numbers are just incredible. I mean, how is this changing the face of America? And I feel like we're sitting ducks here. Is anybody in the White House going to take any ownership of this or change anything that's happening right now, given we are allowing gang members and terrorists to enter this country?
Well, Maria, I don't see it happening. Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security, certainly isn't helping. He refuses still to call it a crisis when we have more than 8 million illegal aliens coming into our sovereign nation since Biden's taken office. He is the biggest liar since Pinocchio. He should have been impeached. It's now gone back to committee, where I think it's going to rise up through regular order, and this guy will be out of office, I hope. Biden has got to come clean on the border. He's got to quit welcoming people to our sovereign nation, trying to get them here to eventually be citizens so they can vote for him and all the goodies that he's passing out.
Yeah, I mean, then you've got the president of Mexico, Manuel Lopez Obrador, praising President Biden for not building new parts of the border wall. Obrador also says Mexico will help migrants come to the United States so that they can just apply for asylum. Border Patrol agents in El Paso found 12 illegal migrants being smuggled in through the city's storm drains. Storm drains, Congressman.
Well, of course, the president of Mexico is complicit in this. He doesn't want the people who are troubled coming up from other countries in the hemisphere and in Central and South America and staying in his country where they're putting pressure on him and his culture and his society and his economy. He wants them with us. And so this remain in Mexico policy where people have to stay in Mexico to apply for asylum in the U.S., that's where we need to get back to. So people who are coming from supposed persecution or even economic troubles, which is not a legitimate asylum claim, stay in Mexico until their cases are heard.
Yeah, I mean, what happened in the House the other day? Marjorie Taylor Greene comes up with a motion to move forward on impeaching Alejandro Mayorkas. There's clearly a dereliction of duty, and yet it fails.
Well, look, not just a dereliction of duty, he has lied repeatedly to Congress, which is an offense to our nation. He needs to be gone. I voted in favor of firing Mayorkas or expelling him, impeaching him is the proper term. Others did not. They wanted to see it go through regular order, go back to the committees where we'll have hearings, impeachment hearings. And maybe they have a point there. We need to get all the facts out for the American people. But this is taking way too long. We do not have time to wait. That guy needs to be out of a job.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with Marjorie Taylor Greene on Sunday. She told me that she's going to bring this motion back after Thanksgiving. So maybe the colleagues of yours who voted not to move forward had a problem with process or a technicality. And when she brings it back, maybe there's another effort here after Thanksgiving. But I also spoke with Christopher Olivares, the lieutenant on the front lines of this border crisis. Listen to what he said to me on Sunday.
I can tell you for a fact the threat is here. The threat has been here. When you know for a fact that there has been individuals from other countries that have ties to terrorism that have been apprehended at the border, over 170 last fiscal year. That is more than combined in the last 6 years. And the fact that now, for the first 6 weeks of this fiscal year, there are over 47,000 known gotaways. That is truly concerning as a country. The fact that these are truly national and public safety threats. And the fact of the matter is that our own federal government is not doing nothing to stop this.
And let's just be clear, the beginning of the fiscal year was October, Congressman. So you're talking about all of those gotaways, 47,000 is what Olivares just said, just since October.
That's right. We had 241,000 encounters just in October. The getaways are something. Those are the ones we know about. I firmly believe, being on the House Armed Services Committee, and that there are sleeper cells in America right now, whether it's Islamic jihadists, whoever, coming from China. They've also captured some people coming from communist China. We've got to be awake. We've got to be aware. We've got to secure our border. Our national security is at stake.
It's so disturbing. It really is. Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter is leading a group of Republican lawmakers to press TikTok about whether China is boosting anti-Semitic videos on the app. He writes this: since this terrorist attack, disinformation related to the conflict has run rampant on your platform, stoking anti-Semitism, support, and sympathy for Hamas. Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton joined me yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures, also referring to TikTok as China's propaganda machine. Watch this.
It's not just that it puts the data privacy and security of all Americans at risk, but now it's turned into a propaganda machine for Chinese communists. You've seen TikTok used to stoke these anti-Semitic pro-Hamas rallies. Just imagine what TikTok would do if we ever came to blows with China over Taiwan. So if Congress passes a major aid bill next month for Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan to secure our border, we should also include a flat-out ban on TikTok in America as well.
Wow, that would be a big deal, a flat-out ban of TikTok in America, Congressman. Would you support that?
I certainly would. I've been supporting that for some months now. You know, we can't have it on our government phones, and there's a reason for that. TikTok is a spy tool by the Communist Chinese Party. It has infiltrated our society. Our young people are being turned upside down and being influenced in ways they should not be by the Communist Chinese. I lay this on Biden's feet as well. You know, we don't need another Neville Chamberlain. We need a Winston Churchill at this moment in our world history.
Liz Peek, jump in here. Your thoughts on TikTok? I think this is a soft war that China is delivering against America with all of this propaganda. And it's not just TikTok. It's all of, you know, their social media, or it's not even media. I guess it's state-controlled propaganda or state-controlled, quote-unquote, media, Liz.
Yeah, I think the case against TikTok is really very blatant. And it comes down partly to the fact that they have very different presentation, very different information going to Chinese young people than they do to American young people. What they put out in China is sort of healthy, it's positive, makes everyone feel good about their country, about themselves, their bodies. Exactly the opposite of what they broadcast here, which is obviously very negative about the United States, negative about our adventurism overseas, as they would describe it, et cetera. But, Congressman, I think to your point, there does not seem to be much will on Capitol Hill to get rid of this thing. And I get that. Everybody uses it, all these young people. And Democrats are worried about young people anyway. So, you know, what are we going to do about it? I mean, it's amazing to me because this is not something we're making up. China owns this product, so it's pretty clearly a mouthpiece for China. And yet somehow the message is not out there, particularly for young people, that they need to be careful about it.
Right.
Well, when you have the President of the United States welcoming TikTok influencers into the White House to give them private
Good
briefings
point.
and interviews, when you have the President of the United States campaigning on TikTok, look, I know we want to attract younger voters. We need younger voters in the Republican Party as well, but TikTok is not the way to do it. It is a tool of the enemy, and it needs to be gone. Yep.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, good to talk with you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. Mark Alford joining us this morning. We'll see you soon, sir.